All right, we're here at the greenhouse to make the Chillie chilacas 880 aquí in Chona City, Chihuahua. I'll show you how it's done. The difference here is this one has 312 cavities, and in this tray you have 105 cavities. So we got the 140, we've got the Chillie. Little dusty, but we're here in Chihuahua, and this is what the implement looks like, the rototiller. All right, we're gonna do a little vlog today, just the day in the life. Right now we're starting out at the Vikingo Shop, just getting done, and I'm headed to the Rancho right here in Ascensión, Chihuahua. So let's get going. I'm just show you a little bit of my day-to-day life. Today we're planting onions. Just got the shop going, responding to some comments on my social media. And yeah, we'll go check out some onion planting about an hour north of here at the Rancho. Vámonos. We got to get some gas, and in Mexico we do a little different. They put in your gasoline for you. What's up, compa? ¿Cómo andas? ¿Al ciento? Todo bien. Eso es bueno. Anda haciendo un YouTube, vas a salir en YouTube, ¿sí está bien?
Claro que sí.
Para que sea más famoso que yo.
No, no, no creo.
Sí, pues ella. Más guapo, pero más famoso no.
Más o menos.
Más o menos. Este verde.
Quiero.
Sí, porfas. And so in Mexico, it's a little different. We don't pump our own gas, they pump it for us. And so, yeah, I started out my day today. I wake up around 4:35, I go to the gym, I do my workouts, I do my cardio, I do my prayer. I read for 20 minutes. I'm on a 90-day program right now, doing that every day. Then I went to the shop, got the shop ready, got designs on the hats out. We're working on a few different designs. These are some of the designs we've been doing, like the más o menos. So we do all that creative process at the shop, and then I take off to the farm. And right now at the farm, we're planting Las Mijas, onions. And so I'll go show you what that's like. But that's the beginning of the day. We're in Nuevo Casarandas right now, and then we got to go to Ascensión, La Chona City, baby. And that's where the farm's at. All right, let's go, let's go. As I was doing that, I was making an Instagram post, same time, putting it in CapCut, doing some captions, and then I'll post that on the way. So just, you know, that efficiency, that effectivity. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Being effective and efficient. Let's go, baby. I'm gonna. Yeah, pasando por Janos. So this is all town I pass every day. Every day. Actually, now I go to the farm, I don't know, 3 times a week. I used to go every single day commuting, but now I just split between the Vikingo Shop Casarandas and the farm. Buffalo. Tatanka. Tatanka. Mira. Janos is known for buffaloes. There's actually a herd of buffaloes that passes through here all the time. There's un rancho de los búfalos, de los tatancas, tatankas, baby. Pues ya llegamos al rancho, pues ahí andan carreando las cebollas. Vamos para allá para ver la plantación de las mijas de las cebollas. Aquí tenemos un tractor que está carreando. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing English or Spanish. So what we're doing, I'll go back to English. This tractor right here is taking old drip tape that we recycle. Someone comes and picks it up to recycle because we're putting new drip in. But we got the Chillie right there. We got the Chillie right there. Taking this trip in. And so yeah, we take the old drip out, and then someone comes, packs it, and recycles it. But yeah, we got to the farm, Rancho de los Apaches. Let's go. All right, we got the Chillie with the rototiller. You can't really see it right now. It's so dusty out here. It hasn't rained in a long time. But we'll get an up-close look of what that's going on. He's got the rototiller up, tilling up the ground, getting ready for some Las Mijas. So we're getting ready to plant. And so right here, what he's doing, we have it furrowed up, and then he goes through and gets the tiller, loosens it up, and then we'll come mark every 4 inches. We'll do 4 lines, así nomás, así, and then we'll plant some onions in there. But we need to make it nice and soft. He's gonna turn around so you can actually see it. Pretty dusty. And then he's got GPS. Maybe he's got GPS. Yeah, he's on GPS right now. He's going straight. That's how we get them straight lines like that. But let's go check out that tractor. Coyote 140, it's a badass tractor. Let's go check it out, baby. All right, so now you can see it. Now you can see it. So we got the 140, we got the Coyote. Little dusty, but we're here in Chihuahua, and this is what the implement looks like, the rototiller. It's got those blades right there. So that's what tills it up, gets it nice and soft. And yeah, man, this tire is about bald as I am, man. Woo. About time for some new tires. And then over there, we're planting onions. So we'll go check that out. But this is the process. And then to get it ready, and then we'll go over there. All right, so these are Las Mijas. These are the onions. I call them Las Mijas because they're my baby girls. I treat them like my baby girls, all right? And so this is the red ones. We have 3 colors, and then we got some sweets. We got red, yellow, white. And so in this field, we're gonna be planting some red onions. And so they come in these bundles. And then from these bundles, we go in and we plant them by hand. What's up? ¿Quieres salir en YouTube? ¿Ah? ¿Cómo anda? ¿Todo bien? Un día bonito. Eso es bueno. Eso es bueno. But yeah. Saluda a Chona City, dile. Puro Chona City, ¿verdad? Eso sí, eso sí. And so what they do is when they go plant them, they take off the leaves, then they take off the roots, and then we go down and we plant them into the dirt. And that's the process, baby. That's the process for planting Las Mijas here in the farm. All right, so this is what it looks like. So when we're planting, these are yellows. These are yellows right here. And so they come in when they're in bundles like this. As you can see, they took off the stem, they took off the roots. They come in and they plant it into the soil. Every 4 inches, at 4 inches, we get the sizes that we want. We have the plant population that we want. That's very important, so we get our yields correct. And also we get a 4-inch onion, which is a perfect size onion, jumbo onion. And that's what we want. And so we have people out here just make sure everything's planted correctly, because it's very expensive. Planting onions is very expensive, so we just got to make sure our plant population is correct. And yeah, that's the hardest part about farming with vegetables and stuff, is just managing the quality, managing people, making sure things are done right. Also a little bit about the field. We have the irrigation that goes underneath, so we have drip irrigation. We use a bunch of different brands, but this brand is Metzer. We put that drip tape in every row. There's a drip tape, and then as soon as we plant it in dry soil, it's got a little moisture down there already, and then we'll put the moisture up right away until it gets wet, 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 and then they'll start shooting the roots out. But we'll go check out some other fields that we've planted, and so you can see what they look like after they've been planted for 2 weeks and put down the roots. Let's get it, baby. All right, let's check out some onions that we planted a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna show you some yellow onions. I'm gonna show you some red onions. We'll show you some white onions. Yeah, let's check them out. So these ones are, they've put down their roots. They got their new leaf. So this leaf in the middle is the new leaf, all right? This is true leaf. These ones came with the plant when we planted it, but I'm gonna show you the roots. So that's what they look like. And this field actually has been 3 weeks, and it hit a hard freeze. So it's a little behind for 3 weeks, but it got to minus 10 Celsius. We use Celsius here in Mexico, metric system. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. I wish the USA would get on board. It's a metric system. Anyway, other than that, these are, this is Rio Dulce. And we have about 13 different varieties of onions, because we want onions to be coming off at every week of May, June, and July. That's our window. And so yeah, those are Rio Dulces, también muy buenas. I don't know what I could say on YouTube, so I'm not gonna cuss. I'm gonna show you some reds. I'm gonna show you how we get some nutrition into. So how do you feed Las Mijas? Well, we at our wells, we inject nutrition, or la comida, the food, or sometimes we do it directly in the valve. And so you see there, we'll pump in some macros, some micros, just like the human body. You got NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Like those are the macros. In our human body, it's protein, fats, and carbs. And so plants are the same as the human body. Man, somebody got this row crooked right here. That's funny. I guess the GPS was messing around. Because usually all these rows are straight because they're on GPS satellite systems, so they're usually straight. But sometimes when they're not getting the signal, they'll curve out a little bit. What was I talking about? I was talking about macros and micros. So same in with your body. You need your micronutrients as well. So do these. Like you need your magnesiums, your zincs, your borons, and stuff like that in the human body. Like one thing we get deficient in is magnesium. Same as plants. So there's a lot of similarities, and that's where they get their food. So we got that tank behind. Anyway, I'm gonna show you some red onions. These are soul fire. These are short day onions, early onions. It's the same thing when they say short day or early, it's the same thing. All it means is this variety does really well when the sun is out half day like. And so it's a short day, and long days when the sun's out longer, so they call them long day. And so your long day onions are like in August, September. Short days are in April and May, June, intermediate. But anyway, yeah. So these are soul fires. Great variety. They don't pay me to say that, but if they do want to pay me, that's cool too. But yeah, soul fire. It's a Nunham variety. I love these varieties. They're good yielders, great quality, beautiful red onion. And these have been planted for about 2.5 weeks. But yeah, you can see, these are the leaves that came from the marsigo. I don't even know how do you say that in English, but marsigo is where you get the seed started in better weather conditions, and then you bring it and you transplant it. But yeah, you got the true leaf coming out right there. So, esas mijas si quieren quedar aquí en la Chona City conmigo. So let's go check out some white onions. We do all 3 varieties. Our clients want all 3, and it depends. Mexico loves white onions because they like things that are more picoso, right? And so spicier, right? And so the white onion is very spicy. It goes really good with tacos. It goes good with enchiladas. It goes good with everything here in Mexico. And yeah, we are here in Mexico. That's where my farm is. And then, so a high percentage of that. And then they'll use a small percentage of red onions for like mariscos, for seafood. In the USA, they consume a lot of yellow onions. So right here, we're in a field of yellow onions. They'll consume a lot in the USA. Yellow onions is for like soups and stuff like that. And it's not as like spicy as a white onion. But now in the USA, since like Mexican food is like getting super popular, they're requiring a lot more percentage of yellow onions in the US. And so, yeah, right now it's like, I don't know, it used to be like 70% consumption of yellow onions that we export to the USA, and now it's like 60, 50, because people are liking white onions and red onions. And red onions for your seafood. So yeah, this variety is pecos. This is pecos, and now I'm gonna show you some white onions. We are just finishing our last day of planting early onions, and then next week we will start with intermediate onions. These babies right here, this is the old drip tape. We tried, some of it got left in the field, but we take this old drip, because we put new drip irrigation in for our new onions. Take the old drip and they bundle it up and then pack it and then go recycle it, but some of it stayed in the field. Anyway, carta blancas, las mijas blancas, mira, no, ándale, ese sí está agarrado. And she put her roots down deep. She must love me. So yeah, there's the carta blanca right there. You're looking good, baby. Looking good. So yeah, we got reds, we got whites, we got yellows, we got some sweets. And so, yeah, let's go see what else we got going on here on the farm. All right, so in the day in the life, we just filmed that. As I'm walking fields, I'll take out my camera, so it's uploading Facebook. And so that's Facebook Español. Tengo páginas de español, and then I have pages in English. And so that's what I usually do when I'm checking fields. I'll make a video of explaining what I'm doing, and then usually that content in Spanish goes on my Facebook Spanish page and TikTok. And we got that baby right there. She's putting in some nutrition. But yeah, day in the life. Working, TikToking, making posts, and working some more. So I'm gonna show you the good, bad, and the ugly. This field froze. So I'll explain how that happened, and we had to actually replant it, and these are the new plants. So this was all Rio Dulce. It was 5 hectares, or what is that, 12.5 acres. But yeah, we got the water up in time. It was a freeze where it was below 10 one day. And if you don't have the water up, water acts as insulation. It keeps it at a degree so it won't freeze the bulb. But we planted, and the planting took longer than we thought, and we didn't have enough people in our field to be able to finish the field. And so we didn't get the water up on time when it froze, so it was dry. And you can kind of see where the old ones were, but we had to come through and till it out. But like these old ones, they froze, and so it was lost quite a bit of money on this field, but we decided to replant it because we already had the investment for all the drip irrigation, and we'd already done all the works, and so we replanted it with this other variety, Somerset. So like two hectares over there did not freeze in this valve, and then we had to come back and replant it with a different variety named Somerset. And so these are fine. Yeah, we just planted them like 4 days ago, but you could see the roots are coming in. Those white roots, those are the new ones. The old ones are all shriveled up and brown. That's what they came from the Amarcigo, or where we seeded them. And then as we brought these plants over and we transplanted them. But yeah, and so yeah, it ain't all easy. I mean, sometimes you lose some money, and so yeah, we lost money on the ones that froze in the field, and normally it doesn't happen. It's just plans didn't work out, and we couldn't finish the field on time to get the water up in time for the freeze because of shortage of people. Sometimes we'll have shortage of people if like somebody else's harvest goes too long, like when chili peppers. And so yeah, we've been having, believe it or not, we've been having labor shortages here in Chihuahua in the north for about the last 3 years. Even though like our pay rates are really good compared to the rest of Mexico, you can usually make about double, if not triple. But yeah, we just don't have as much people as we used to. But so yeah, that's the reason why they froze. We just couldn't plant it fast enough to get the water up in time for a -10 Celsius freeze. So yeah, there's a story for you. You win some, you lose some. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, businessman, you just have to learn how to navigate that. It ain't all just roses and roses. How's the thing go? Rainbows and butterflies. You know, you take some hits, but you got to learn how to take the hit if you want to win. So let's go. So now I got to post on TikTok. So I check these fields. So what I do is I'll just go in, I'll upload a video. I made a video in Spanish here. I'll upload it. Boom. I'll even show you how I do it. I just go, it doesn't take me long. Because while I was walking fields in the last one, the Facebook one uploaded. And so now I'm doing my TikTok one. That's all I do. I don't overthink it. And so if you're wondering, like behind the scenes, like how's this guy post on social media and how's he farm and stuff, it's like I don't really edit unless it's like a YouTube or something like that. I have somebody edit, but I'll just, as I'm driving, I'm looking at fields right now. Looking at fields, everything. The TikTok, it's posting, I'm not even paying attention. A lot of times at night, I just post and ghost. That means Yeah, I'll post it, but I'm not up in the comments. When I get chances in the morning, it looks like someone got stuck in those fields. But if I get a chance in the morning, like I'll go into the comments. But honestly, I just don't have time. I'm not a full-time influencer. I'm a post and ghost, introverted working influencer and father of 2 and the 3rd on its way. So yeah, this is the real life behind how I do things. So if I don't respond to your DM or your comment on social media platforms, sorry, I'm working, or I'm being a father, or I'm being a husband. You know what I mean? But yeah, TikTok does take longer though. Like, it's gonna be uploading a 5-minute video for, I don't know, it'll probably take 5 minutes to upload it. But I'm gonna go check on this field right here. We just planted these. I gotta make sure the moisture is up all the way, because the importance of onion planting is you gotta make sure that bulb has moisture for 2 weeks straight, at least 4 to 5 days, so it can put its roots down, depending on what the temperature is. But right now it's warm out, and so and within 5 days, these got good established roots. But yeah, we'll go check on this. We planted this on Saturday. I just need to make sure the water is up all the way. All right, so they got the roots, and this is only, I don't know, these have only been planted since Friday. So 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and they got the roots down. But as you can tell, the moisture is all the way up. This is mud. This is mud, and this is how we gotta have it, because if they lack moisture, it stops them from shooting down the roots down. And that's what we need. We just need to get the roots down, so we keep the moisture all the way up until they got the roots down and they can go down and look for the moisture themselves. We got to keep it all the way up until then. And then we'll be lowering the moisture around the root zone. We'll just keep the moisture up in there. But yeah, it looks good. So yeah, we good. We good. All right. Next field. That's all I do right now. My job as a farmer, this kind of farmer, is vegetables and chili, onions and chili and stuff like that. My job is to walk all day. That's what I do. I check fields all day and walk. If I was just a purely grain farmer, it's mainly like your equipment, your tractors and stuff like that. But as an onion farmer, I'm walking fields. That's my jale. That's my job. Jale en español es jale. Miren lo que les pasó a las Chillie chilacas 880 aquí in Chona City, Chihuahua. So these were my Chillie chilacas. In the videos from last year, 2024, these were my green chili fields, but then it froze. So what happens? So the green chili, it'll mature, then it'll go red, like a fresh red. And then it'll dry. And if it's fresh red and it dries, then it'll go to dry red. And so it's the same plant, same field. This is just what it looks like after it went red, it dried up. And these are freaking good, dude. That smell of a dry red chili pepper. It is. Actually, they've done a study worldwide, and it is the best smell in the world. Voted by me. But man, these are so good. So yeah, you can make your salsas, your enchiladas, chile corral, whatever you want with this stuff. I got some spicy varieties and I have some that aren't. So what happens if it freezes and it's not red before it freezes? They'll turn white. So this was green when it froze, and so it turned white. Okay? And then I'll show you an example like, okay, so this one was half red, half green when it froze. And so it's red and like this white. And so this doesn't have any flavor. When it's green and it freezes, it's got no flavor. You want it to fully mature into a fresh red chili, and then it freezes, and then it'll be red. And this is the one that's got the flavor. I didn't grow these for red, dry red. It's just this row right here didn't get picked all the way, harvested all the way, so that's why I could show you. But the rest of it pretty much got harvested all the way. But if it was grown for red, it'd just be full of red chili. This one looks good. Dirt? Nah, this is health. You wonder why I'm so healthy? chiles and cebollas. Con eso tengo. Dang, this is kind of dulce. It's a little sweet. But anyway, yeah, there you go. There's your Chillie chilacas 880 de Chona City, Chihuahua, que quedaron, celaron, que ya están para sus enchiladas. If you didn't understand that in Spanish, it's all good. You'll learn. So a little behind the scenes, I'm gonna change my hat so you guys can see my apparel in the YouTube. I would do it like most people do it, like subtly in their YouTubes, whatever. I'm gonna just show you behind the scenes. And so I can get my different hats. Like you got Las Mijas, then in my truck I always have a bunch of hats. And so like I'll put on a different one in a video so you can see how chingon it is, and then you go to vikingo.com and you go buy one, right? And so yeah, so I got it. This is behind the scenes. So I'll have a bunch of hats. And some days, like on social media, I only record like one day a week sometimes. And then, so it looks different. I'll have all these different hats. So I'm just showing you the real behind the scenes. Now I'm gonna get naked, not really. I'm going to put on a different shirt. So in my TikToks and in my Facebook, then it looks like it was a different day, but it wasn't. Where's my mic? Oh, you can call it. See, there's a mic right there so you can hear me. But yeah, so this is real behind the scenes. That's the way I like to live my life. I just like to be really transparent in everything I do. So now I gotta see, okay, which one's gonna be the most chingon? Hector, which one's gonna be the behind the scene? He's behind the camera. Which one goes best with this? Oh, nip slip. I don't know if that's on YouTube. This one? This is the one? Is this what we're going with? That one? Yeah. That one? I'll do the little crown. That one? That one? Or échale ganas?
Yeah, I don't know right now.
Now you don't know?
All our chingonas.
Oh, that's a good answer right there. All right, we'll go with the original that you said. So yeah, that's a little behind the scenes, and I'm a mic up. I've seen some people put it in their beards like that. But let's put it on this. I love Carhartts. They don't tell me to say this, but I love Carhartts because they got the pocket. And as a farmer, you always want that pocket. There's always something put in that pocket. But yeah, that makes it more efficient for me because I'll film like today while I'm working, but I'll do enough videos and outfit change, whatever, like just like that, so I don't have to film anymore during the week and I just get busy farming, because I probably should get busy farming. All right, let's see. Right here, we planted those onions last week, getting the water up. Right here, you can't see it, you got the Chillie back there, the rototiller, but now we got the John Deere 7710 over here. He's putting down 1152 of fertilizer, base, or base fertilizer. I speak Spanglish, so just follow along. I wonder if YouTube will translate that or not in captions. I don't know. So he's gonna come down and put the base, and that's what that 7710 is doing over there. But yeah, we'll wait for him to get closer. Food coming in for Las Mijas, so we got the fertilizer. This is our base, so we'll put down the base fertilizer with this tractor. The other one's over there, filling up. Follow the base and mark the whole thing. I'll go show you. I'll go show you what it looks like. Oh, I got the mic in the pocket. Hopefully you could have heard me. I'm sure you could have. So we got the 7710, great tractor. It's 155 horsepower. We've had it for a long time. I don't know, like 15, 20 years, and it's been great. And so we'll have these buckets, and the fertilizer's in here, and it'll come down. It's a granular, and it'll come down into here, and then we inject it there. And so we'll have a little base fertilizer for Las Mijas, for the onions before we plant them. This is on a different GPS system. This is Auto Farm, one of the originals. The new ones are like on FJ Dynamic GPS systems. They've worked really well. Got my man George back there. He's our lead tractor driver, helping him out. But he's the one that taught me tractors when I was, I think he started teaching me when I was 11. I started when I could reach the clutch. I don't know when that was, maybe 7 or 8 years old when I started driving tractors. It was a Ford 5000. I started on a Ford 5000. Still got it, still runs. But yeah, so that's what that looks like. I'm gonna go see what they're up to. So what we're doing here is we're getting ready for green chili. Chili, chilaca, 880. And so we had this drip irrigation's been in here for a while, and so we ripped it out, and then we plowed, and then we're hooking it. We got the ganchos, but this is the old drip irrigation. This is how we irrigate. The water comes out of here. Drip. Oh, nip slip. Oh well. Anyway, so we were ganchando, or we're hooking it or ripping it, and then we'll come through and we'll plow after this. But we'll get all this loosened up, and then and once we get it all blandito, I have a hard time going back and forth from Spanish to English. But once we get it all suave, all soft, and get all these clumps out, then we will come through and inject the new irrigation, the new drip, and then that'll probably stay in there for 7 to 10 years. And so once we have the new stuff in, we don't even really move the soil that much. I wish it would stay in there for like 50 years. But because like tractors and the human error, sometimes we rip it up. And so, but the goal is for this drip to stay there as long as possible and not even move the ground as long as possible. But yeah, so we're getting ready for the Chillie, chilaca, 880, and then let's go to the greenhouse. I'm gonna show you guys the greenhouse today. We'll go see the little babies coming up, the little seedlings in the greenhouse. And right now it's February 24th. In April, this will be all ready, and we'll be planting chilacas, Chillie chilacas, 880. And you gotta look for the 880. That means they came from here, from Chihuahua, and that means they're good, and that means they're mine, so you better get them. So those are all the classical tractors. And if the apocalypse comes, this is what we're bringing out. They don't have no sensors. They all work. We just have to put on some tires and some of them. Well, that one, it's done. It's done. But the one I started with was the 5000, Ford 5000. It still works perfectly, just lacks some shoes. But yeah, if the world ever comes in, we'll be using these. 67 works perfectly, needs some llantas, some tires. And then we got the 9700 back here. I'm reversing, because I'm going reverse in English, because I went all in Spanish and I forgot I was doing it in English. YouTube. So I got the 9700. We still use this one all the time to cultivate. And then we got the Vikingo over there. I don't even know what number it is, but we just always called it the Vikingo before I was called Vikingo, because it never gets stuck. It is light, it is powerful, and it's got them big old tires on it. And so whenever it's really muddy, we'll bring that one out. Just gotta air up that tire a little bit. But yeah, those are the classics. And so I'm really not afraid for the zombie apocalypse, because I got these babies, man. And then those are sprayers. So I use spray coops. I love spray coops because they're super light. They don't get stuck, and since I have drip irrigation, if I put a big heavy sprayer in, they just get stuck all the time. Spray coops work great. I put them on GPS on the FJ Dynamics. Yeah, those are FJ Dynamics. We got one that's super high, and that's for the chili peppers, and the other one is a little wider, but yeah, those work great. So now it's time for my meal prep. I'm gonna show you guys what I eat. So actually right now I'm doing a 90-day challenge, so I'm trying to eat my nutrition in a 6-pack. There was a time where I went to do construction in Houston, I got up to 285 pounds, and I don't want to get back there. So here's a little peek into my lunch chest. So 0 calorie, 0 calories, yes. But this is what I eat. These are just sparkling water with some flavor. If I need some energy, a little Celsius, green tea. I'm trying to wean myself off of monsters. I'm doing a pretty good job. You always gotta have some algo picoso. Algo picoso. And then I'll just have some white rice with some steak for lunch. Here I'll have tortillas de maíz, like corn tortillas and some pollo, some chicken. or I'll just have some clean steak with some white rice. I get my protein in, my carbs, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, get feeling good. Poco poquito. But yeah, I'm trying to stay fit. Just like I'm a farmer, I'm taking care of the nutrition of my plants. I'm trying to take care of the nutrition of my body so I can reach my fullest or fuller potential, just like you want a plant to reach its full yield and production. Same with our bodies, and so I need my protein, carbs, I forgot my fats, and you have a half avocado in there, but yeah, that's a little insight on behind the scenes of my diet. And then I get these drinks that don't have sugar in them, or don't have any calories, extra calories, but that's what I do. All right, we're here at the greenhouse to make the Chillie Chilacas 880 aquí in Chona City, Chihuahua. I'll show you how it's done. So first, before we put the plants into the greenhouse, this isn't my place. This is a place that I send my seed, but we fill these trays up with this substrate or this sustrato. It's the dirt. It all mills it up right here, then it goes up into here and fills out the tray. So as you can see, this tray here, it's filled with that substrate, nice and even. This is all automatically done. This is 312 cavities. And then you'll see where the seed's going in. So this is an F2 seed, so they put 2 of those seeds per cavity. When it's a hybrid seed or an F1, they'll put 1 seed per cavity because the germination rates are better for a hybrid seed. And so that's using air, and it's precise planting so that that you have the right yields per tray, the right germination, or I guess what would you say, plant population per tray, I guess. And so then after it's planted, then this machine throws a little bit more substrate over the top. I think that's the word you use, substrate. In Spanish, sustrato. So I'm going to English and I think it's substrate. And so I'll put another layer off the top, nice and pretty. And then look at what happens here. Here it gets watered. So it's nice and moist. So you have a more precise planting with this machine. And then you have the irrigation. It's all precise, it's all uniform. And so as farmers, like that's what we want. If we're paying for 312 cavities, we want those cavities full. Yes, there's like a 90% germination rate. And so there will always be a little bit of air, but with machines like this, it'll get our percentages up so that we're more effective, more efficient, and then we're all happy. I mean, the guys with the greenhouses are happy, we're happy. We have more plants for our money because this seed is very expensive. And so we just want to be as precise as possible. But cool stuff, man. So this is how your Chillie Chilacas de Chihuahua 880 are created. And then from here, they go to get germinated into a place where there's a lot of heat. I don't know what they call them. We can call it the womb. There's a bunch of, I forgot the name. I've just forgot the name, but we'll put these into a warm spot and then they will germinate because it's nice and warm. And from there, once they sprout up and it's a little seedling and it has a couple little leaves, then they'll put it into the greenhouses. And that's how your chilacas are born. All right, we're here in the greenhouses with the Chillie Chilaca 880 de Chona City, Chihuahua. And so this is what it looks like after these seeds have germinated. That last video I did was in Spanish, but I'm going back to English, I forgot. And so after these seeds that they have planted, after they've germinated, they pop up. And so these trays are 312 cavities. We have other trays that are 105 cavities. And the bigger the cavity, the faster the development. And then, so anyway, these, it is what, February 24th, and we'll be planting these chilies in April. But they're looking pretty. These are hybrid seeds, so we put 1 seed per cavity. When it's like an F2 seed or equal, I don't know what they even call it in English. We'll put 2 seeds because the germination, the germ rate or the germination rate is usually lower, so you put 2 seeds, but these are very expensive. Chillie chilacas 880, and so we put 1 seed. These are great. These are actually Anaheim Charger. That's the variety. But yeah, man, looking good here at the greenhouse. So what's the difference here? We're in the greenhouse. The difference here is this one has 312 cavities, and in this tray you have 105 cavities. So why go to 105 cavities? And so if there's less cavities in these same trays of the same dimension, it's going to be a larger cavity, more soil, more space for the plant to develop. And so when we take these out of the greenhouse, this one will be developed, I don't know, 1-2 weeks before the other one. And so when we transplant it into the fields, it's going to be a stronger plant, it's going to be a more mature plant, and then if any winds or stuff like that happen, it's going to be able to resist it. And also, we pay the extra price for 105 cavities when we want to harvest earlier. So there's pros and cons. It's a lot more expensive for bigger cavities, but then also you have a stronger plant that can resist any weather conditions, and also you get a little head start on your harvest. And so you can see if it's worth the price or not. If you don't want to spend that much money when you're doing chili peppers, you just do direct seed. You do direct seed in the field, and you do like an F2 seed that's not as expensive, and you can go that route. If you're a very risky farmer, high risk, you spend more money and you get hybrid seed and you get these trays or even those trays, and it's gonna, your cost per acre or costo por hectárea is gonna be a lot more. There's gonna be a lot more risk, but then there's more reward. But also, if you do get any time of hailstorm or anything, you just lost all that investment. And so you just gotta look at your numbers and see how much risk you wanna take on. If we all lived in a perfect world with perfect markets, perfect prices, and no hailstorms, then we would always do this. But in a hailstorm, if you have that much money put in, then it could be a huge ouch for you in business-wise. And so I'll do some of 105, I'll do some 312, and then some years I'll do direct seed just to spread out my risks. So, but yeah, we're trying out this for the first time this year, but these cavities, these plants are gonna take off a lot faster than these plants because they got more room to grow. All right, now I'm gonna show you guys some different crops. And so right here we have Brussels sprouts, col de Bruselas, and we have it, there's the 312 cavities, and you can see its development compared to, you gotta see this over here, the difference of having less cavities and more space to grow. These ones are planted the same date, and it's 50, and it's got these big old plants in it. Look at that. Look at that. The same date that they were planted, and this one is developed to be this big old Vikingo style one, you know? Know what I mean? But look at that. And so it's more expensive to have these bigger cavities in the greenhouse, but then you have a bigger plant, you have more space to grow, it develops faster, you have the harvest comes sooner, and then also they can resist all the storms. Because like, the smaller and weaker it is, if a hailstorm or if a windstorm comes or any negative conditions, they're not gonna resist as bad. And so this one's not gonna stress that much. And so you want your plants not to stress that much as possible. And so you have the 50 cavity, and then you got the 105 cavity over here, and you can see the difference. They're all planted the same date. So you can see the difference there, but it's more developed, this 105 cavity, than the 312 cavity. And then we're gonna go check out some, we also have granadas, pomegranates. I was trying to figure out in English. So we got pomegranates over here, and so this is a desert crop. They're working with they're experimenting here in the region, and then the rest are Brussels sprouts. And so, yeah, that's your little greenhouse tour. And so basically, what do you learn from that? If you want harvest that comes sooner, and if you don't want the process to be so stressful for your plant when you go transplant them out in the field or in the garden, have a bigger cavity. It's gonna cost more, but then that plant's gonna be super strong to be able to resist whatever stress it gets from coming from the cozy greenhouse to the open weather. And so you want that transition to be nice and smooth. And how do you do it? You want a really strong plant. And so having a bigger cavity is gonna cost a lot more, but the plant's gonna be able to make that transition a lot smoother the stronger it is. And so, yeah, and that's a pomegranate. I'm tempted to grow some of them, but I don't know. It's an experimental market right now. A lot of health benefits and stuff like that, but we'll see. But there you go. All right, that's a wrap for farm day. Yeah, so what do? We checked on the mijas, the onions, we prepared for the chili peppers, we went to the greenhouse, walked some fields. Now it's daddy duties. So I gotta go take my kids to basketball practice, do them some haircuts, but that's a typical day. A little homework, play ball before we go to bed. And that's pretty much a typical day for me. So now I got to commute back to Casarones and get my boys to basketball practice. But yeah, super excited about the green chili that's coming in. It's looking super good. And onions are looking really good. It's always super exciting at the beginning of the year when you get your crops up. And then as for behind me, these are pecan trees. And I'm going to take them out. I'm gonna put something else there. It's a surprise. I'm gonna put something else. It's more of a bush. I ain't gonna say what it is. But these pecan trees, it didn't develop the way I was because there was a time where I planted them back in 2013. And then I left to the US. Here I'm in Mexico. I left to the US to Houston to go save up money doing construction. I came back and they didn't water them enough. And so they didn't develop too well, so they should be looking a lot better. But yeah, I'm gonna do something else there, but that's and so that's a wrap for today. I'm gonna commute back home and do some daddy duties. And if you like this content, if you like the vlogging, the podcast, or I guess the YouTubing, just the day in the life, and so go ahead and like and subscribe. If you like the content, and share it, and I will keep producing. Just like I produce some chili chilacas and Las Mijas and everything on my farm, I'll keep producing some videos for y'all. We'll see ya. Échale ganas.